allow me introduce Captain Owoluhanga, Assistant Commissioner, National Patriotism Corps. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
And today, we begin with you, our esteemed Commissioner, Council Honorable HELLEN SEKU. Welcome once again this evening.
Thank you very much, and we are humbled once again for this wonderful program. We thank the Lord for a bright new day, and we thank the Lord for all our viewers.
Thank you so much. Madam Commissioner, just in a short while, what core values should every Ugandan boy or girl child be raised with? And why are these particular values essential for Uganda's future?
Wow. A boy or girl child, we all remain Ugandan. And from the patriotism perspective, first and foremost, patriotism is the love for one's country, that feeling. You put in even the emotions to feel like I'm a Ugandan, a proud Ugandan. What should a boy child or girl child do? Some of the core values. Actually, it's what we dwell on mostly in patriotism. One is hard work. It's even biblical that a man who doesn't work should not eat. Therefore, under patriotism, we teach what we call hard work, and we have even a prayer that if you don't work, you shouldn't eat. We encourage every boy child or girl child to be hardworking. We don't want to have a community of lazy citizens, of lazy youth, balcony children, whom you ask that where does chicken come from, and the child tells it comes from the fridge, because they don't know. We encourage them to work so that even with or without parents, one can survive. And we encourage every youth, whether girl or boy, not to undermine any kind of work. You shouldn't only wait for the white-collar job. If the available job is making bricks, please do that. If the available job is tailoring, please do that. As long as you're hardworking, you add value to yourself, add value to the community and wealth, and also sometimes create employment for others. That is one core value. The second core value is discipline. If you're not disciplined, you cannot survive in our world today. We the Gen Zs who like just shouting, making noise without analyzing things. Some things we do because we lack the discipline. But when you're disciplined, you're well informed, you respect everyone around you, respect yourself, respect our parents, respect the government in power, respect the leadership present. It's in the Bible that we should pray for our leaders every day. But those youth of ours, both girls and boys who are not disciplined, go on abusing the leaders who are God chosen and God appointed, which is wrong. Hence, if we are disciplined and we preach discipline, someone will know their limit. Someone will respect the elders. Someone will respect the leadership or the government in power. Equally, a person who's disciplined will respect himself, will not engage into drug addictions, will not engage into homosexuality and unwanted pregnancies or abortions or HIV. The discipline will help us prevent HIV and so many issues. Because children who lack discipline or are indisciplined, both girls and boys, have ended up as drug addicts. And when they fail to get money out drugs, they end up being thugs, they end up torturing people around them. They don't even fear God. They go sleeping with every dick, Rick and Don, then they acquire HIV/AIDS. Therefore, I will base on those two core values to say every Ugandan child, both boys and girls, need them. And maybe also we need to be God-fearing. A country that fears God, or a child that fears God, shall live longer without discrimination, whether a boy or a girl. As long as you respect God, you fear God, your future is bright. Because the Bible tells us that it's only the Holy Spirit or God who can lead us the right way. Therefore, if you don't have God, then I don't know. That person becomes a next of kin to Satan, and they end up doing all dubious acts in society. Homosexuality is eating up every youth because they don't have the godliness in them. Thank you very much.
So Satan also has a next of kin?
Yes.
Captain Owoluhanga, I just want to understand, where should we draw the line between cultural norms and modern expectations? Do girls and boys require different value-based upbringing approaches? Or should parenting be universal like it used to be in the early 80s, 90s. It was known that a father was a father in a home, a mother was unquestionable. Today we are being questioned by our children. Is it something that, where do we draw the line? Thank you.
Thank you so much, moderator. First of all, my name is Owaruhanga, not Owaruhanga.
Oh, I apologize.
That is
Owaruhanga.
completely different, yes. And your question is too wrong. You need to break it so that I don't forget. Yes. I want to thank my commissioner for the values she has just highlighted. Too important. So where do we draw the line between culture and
modern expectations, cultural norms and modern expectations.
To start with, culture is extremely important. They say a society without culture is a dead one. Madam Commissioner was emphasizing discipline. Part of where we generate our discipline is culture. When we were growing up, they used to tell you you're not supposed to eat while walking. That is part of discipline. Hard work is part of culture. And so we must integrate. No one can live independent of the other. We have modernity, but we have culture. A society adopts and inherits. So those values we held so dear a long time ago, as we integrate with other communities, you realize some cultures are outdated, like female genital mutilation. So that is discarded. But then you adopt what you find important in another culture. So it is a matter of adopting, discarding. What you think is critical, you maintain. What you find it's outdated or against people's rights, you discard. But society and culture are so important.
Thank you, Afande. Maybe before even we get away from you, I needed you to clarify for me. There is something I've seen over the years or over time. We all grew up, in this feeling that, for example, commissioner is a lady. Therefore, if she was in a home with her brother somewhere, it is her who was meant to go to the kitchen. Maybe if you grew up in the villages, the boys could go tend to cows and so on. I just want to understand, these are they gender roles? Are they because these are culture? They are saying these are cultural issues. Is that something you need to?
Yes.
Is there some way of universally saying, okay, all are children? Can we raise them in the same way? Go cook. It's not a gender role. It's a discipline. It's hard work. Is there any?
That was part of our culture, that a woman should cook, a man should go out there. But as it is, the woman is out there working. So how will you bring her to the kitchen? She leaves early in the morning and comes very late. And sometimes the husband is at home not working. So will you stay at home the whole day waiting for the wife who is at work to come and cook for you? So like I told you, society adopts and discards. There are practical realities of life where you find that now it's no longer a monopoly for a man to work and a woman to sit home. It's now we all go to school, girl and boy, we seek jobs, girl and boy, we get them, we work, and then we get married. You will not force your wife to leave your home. In any case, she contributes to the economy of the family. So what is important is to discard this cultural norm of it should be a woman to cook. However, there are some historical facts. If you find both of you are working, ideally, if we are to be true, this man is the head of the family. This is biblical. They are both working. You will find that the man's resources will certainly go to the expenditures of the family. Sometimes our sisters are a bit hesitant to leave their money to go, and you have to first beg. Meaning there is still this mentality of the man must provide. Even if you have a bigger job, the man must provide. So if it is still there that the man must provide, then let the woman also do the woman duties.
But that goes back. What you're calling women's duties, are they women's duties or they are universally? That's the question.
They are not women duties, apart from being pregnant. Because
that's also not a woman's duty, because you can't make herself pregnant.
I'm saying you cannot carry, no man can carry pregnancy. So we can comfortably say that is a woman's duty. And impregnating is solely a man's duty. But apart from that, I don't find any other known as it is today and going forward, woman or man duty. So it's a matter of changing our mindset that where our fathers enjoy this, but as it is, things have changed, other cultures have come in, we must, and the realities of life have come in, so we must adopt and only agree with each other. Today, I will come late. Please, since you're home, you can do something. Only that I want to advise my sisters, be considerate. Be considerate. The Bible says the man is the head of the family. He should provide. Now that I have provided, use what I have provided. Isn't it? If you go and cook many more times than me, don't say we are also equals. There is no society of equals. In a family, when you go back home, it is a wife and a husband. So it's a matter of clicking that yes, she can cook 2-3 times, but when I'm around, or when we come together and we are all tired, we can join in and work together. It's a mindset thing.
Thank you. Madam Commissioner, you're a mother, and I just want to understand, would you raise your boys to cook? Would you raise your girls to cook alongside their brothers?
Surely I would. Because in our society today, we are encouraging everyone to be hardworking, and we are encouraging all children, both girls and boys, to learn how to do these basic chores at home. Cooking is not a punishment. And what's wrong with the boy cooking? I have seen chefs who are boys and they cook extraordinary, very delicious meals than even with the ladies.
That's a professional job.
Yes, therefore, it has no effect if I taught my son how to cook, just in case the wife is sick. And shouldn't make a wife like a slave once in a while. For example, Women's Day, it's men supposed to cook for us. I mean,
why Women's Day only?
I'm saying for that particular day. On my birthday, baby has to cook for me. I'm a baby that day, and he has to go to the kitchen.
I have a friend
in
called
agreement.
Musa. The last time he tried cooking, the woman couldn't eat the food.
It was all burnt.
Exactly. So what?
It is because maybe the parents did not help that friend of yours in his early stages to learn how to cook, to learn how to do certain things. Mind you, Mr. Moderator, our parents before actually used to encourage the girls to cook because they knew boys were specifically going to graze the cattle, to hunt and do those hard work. But today, the society has become modern. You don't need to light a sigiri or to go and look for firewood in order for you to come and cook or learn to cook. We have gas, we have microwave and etc. Therefore, just teaching your son that you press this button to boil tea, you press this button to cook the rice. It's not a taboo. No, I don't want to buy it.
Isn't that cooking? Yes.
Let's tool our children for tomorrow.
Yes.
What is reality now? You have seen increased number of single parents families. You have female-headed families and male-headed families that are on the increase. So what will you do when you are a male single father? What will you do? What we are supposed to do our children is give them these skills and clear their mindset that in case this happens in future, they are not caught off guard. They should be ready for any eventuality. And you know, maids are on in shortage right now. So here is a situation where the man is not having a wife and there is no maid. Will your children sleep hungry or yourself? So to prepare a better Ugandan tomorrow, clear their mindset, let them be prepared for anything.
True. Thank you so much. From your perspective, Madam Commissioner, where are our families getting it right, and where are we failing in instilling values amongst Ugandan children today? And what do you think parents should do actually start doing right, or what they are not doing right?
Okay. Personally, being a mother and a working mother, one thing I've learned through our jobs and the so busy schedules, we pretend to be extraordinary busy mothers, and we fail to create time for our children. We fail to create time for our family to discover what happens to our children behind our backs when we are not around. The only way you can get to know this is by bringing your children closer, by monitoring them closely and know what has happened when I was away. With time, you'll get to know. And that's how even homosexuality has reached certain families. You find even, actually not homosexuality alone, immorality and decayed morals. There is one time I was watching a certain story on social media where a biological brother impregnated a biological sister. That the girl every time wanted to approach the mother and tell the mother that, Mommy, my brother is doing ABC. Every time the mother came back past 10 p.m., on reaching, she goes on her phone, she's on Facebook, she's on WhatsApp. She did not have time. So even this modern technology has costed some of the parents and has costed some of our children to be wasted. A child is on technology, on TV or whatever, watching any channel, watching nudes, watching funny things from morning because of lack of parental guidance. I encourage us as parents to really go back to our culture and bring back the values that our foreparents taught us. For example, girls used to kneel, but in this modern technology of ours, a girl can just, without respect, stand and greet. How are you? You're greeting your father like that. You find a child is talking to the parents without any respect and demanding. I used to have one of my instructors, junior instructors. The father is an instructor and the son is also an instructor. Then I realized there was a problem. The boy would call the father and say, "We're going in sindikira sente katikati." Telling the father, I had to expel this young man and told him, "Can you go back and learn values, how to respect and value your parent? This is a parent. Even when you need my man as a parent, you have to handle me with care." Secondly, even, this advanced technology has caused a lot of disadvantage and disadvantage as well. If I may talk about our culture and norms, how mothers used to dress, how women used to dress. Women used not to put on these bikinis, damaged jeans. By the time you wear a damaged jean, the brain is also damaged. For girls, even boys, why would you put on falling trousers? A decent man should, yes, not that fashion has eaten culture. Those years.
You are mistaking modernity for culture.
Okay, modernity, yes. But this modernity, we should copy modernity or modern things that are good. Why would you move as a mother, exposing my thighs to the public? When they are decent, the one who wants to buy or who chose me is already there. He will want a decent person. Those days, why even at campus, those years, before Satan became the tailor, every girl in those higher institutions, Makerere, which was then the only university, every lady was dressed decent. But as soon as Satan and his cousins and relatives became tailors in Uganda, they really brought what they felt was modern and left the godly culture, the dress code of how a woman is supposed to dress. You end up dressing indecently, attracting even unnecessary attention, which will end up resulting into an abuse, child abuse, etc.
It's quite amazing, but I'm impressed that at least everyone is looking forward to changing that very perspective.
Yes.
And thank you, Patriotism Secretariat, for that. Find Walhanga. Sorry. You had, I think, with the commissioner, you've traversed almost the entire country. I think there are very few schools you haven't gone to. I'm proud that most of the schools you have a clear picture of who and what they are today. I really want to understand from you, is the Ugandan school system doing enough to build character and patriotism among learners? And what reforms would do or intervention would you recommend?
Okay, thank you. Today we've moved around and we've been to almost each and every school. But just like my commissioner was talking about a breakdown in families, there's some breakdown in schools as well. So there's a breakdown in the entire community, which now goes to families and to schools. You realize there's a big disconnect between a teacher and a child. When you go to this, yes, the learner.
Yeah.
So when we go to these schools, we spend there a few days, but the learner develops a relationship with you that they can disclose what they cannot disclose to their parents, what they cannot disclose to their teachers. It means, why can she find comfort in telling me, who has been around for 2-3 days, yet the teacher has been around? So it means the teacher has neglected this duty, this noble call, and they now look at it as a job. Teaching is a service above self. It should come from the heart. To know, teachers are psychologists in society. She should be able to sit, to look at a child and know that they have something bothering them. But they have created a hedge, a gap between this learner and them. The learner does not look at them as a parent. Don't forget, at home, the parent has neglected. She comes to school, the teacher is a professional who does not want to engage. So this child is left somewhere hanging at the mercy of whoever will come. So true, there is a gap, there is a distance between a child of today and his or her teacher.
In your review, Madam Commissioner, how have social media, entertainment and global influences affected the value systems of our children? And what safeguards do you think or guidance should be put in place?
The global trend, social media, internet and etc. I think, in my opinion, one of the first things is our government should help us to come up with clear standing regulations under the communications department. For example, in Uganda, UCC and the ICT ministry, then the media center should help us to come up with regulations that what kind of information should be displayed there. Because if you leave the internet open and whatever is there, everyone writes what they feel like, everyone posts what pleases them. But if we have got certain regulations, it will help us to adopt good values and culture in our learners or children, and also to bring out the true patriotism picture in our society. Those years it used to be a collective responsibility that when I'm a child and I misbehave on the road or defecate anywhere on the road, sorry to use that word, any responsible parent or an elder will beat me. If I don't greet, an elder will beat me. But today, because of social media, someone even is staying in one house with their father and mother, and the child wakes up to go and says, "Hi dad, hi mom." I mean, because of what we adopt with the other Western world, the culture and etc. I'm thinking, if we come up with clear regulations, let me give an example of me. In my family, I have my do's and don'ts. And I tell my children, when dad is home, there's time for children for playing, time for bed, time for watching TV. There are certain channels on TV that I lock. There are certain channels on their tabs that I lock because they are not supposed to watch them at that age. So that is what we can do as parents, as society, so that we curb those bad... Yes, parental guidance is important.
Thank you, Madam Commissioner. I find it, there was, I think we all grew up in a community, in a time when communal parenting was the norm of the day. I'm very sure majority of us, especially those of you who grew up in the early 90s, the early 80s, the early 2000, I think to some extent even the early 2000, that was there. There was something called, there was something called communal parenting. Used to be very strong in Uganda. How does its decline? Because I'm sure it has declined. How does its decline affect value development in children? And do you think this can be restored?
True, it used to be that it takes a whole village to raise a man. That points to community responsibility. And it was very intentional. Actually, when you analyze it, a leader of today is not the leader of this family where they are born. The president of this country is not the president of the family where he is born. He's the president of the entire region. So if he's raised badly, owing to the weaknesses of the parents, then the entire region will have failed. That's the logic why everyone should really get involved in the upbringing of this child. We have deteriorated. Modernity is one of the causes. We used to live as a community, now we live in fences and walls. Where will you find someone's child? From in the morning, they go to school, they're in the car, they come back in a car, they enter their fence.
Eat pizza.
Inside their fences, there are dogs and security guards. So how will you even come in to help? You don't know what he does. You see, you would help a child when you meet them somewhere around, either along the road or in the community doing something, and you intervene. Now there is no access. There is no access. And so there is a disconnect between this child being brought to the community and the community to which he is being brought to serve at the end of the day. And once that happens, that disconnect happens, they come back to seek for elections, and they ask you, whose son are you? Whose daughter are you? You don't know, because you never saw them, yet your neighbors. Now that has really impacted, and we are going to continuously see the quality of leadership declining, because there is no society intervention. You cannot be everything as a parent. You need other people to join you and help you. And when we were young, during holidays, they would send you to the uncle's home, because there is something you cannot do to your son. But when they go to the uncle can advise. So he comes back a changed man. Now, my child is my child. It is mine and mine alone. Yet when they grow, they are supposed to serve the community. So that disconnect is going to affect us. Because they say, if a child is not embraced by the community, when he grows, he will burn this community to feel the warmth. So this is what the direction we are heading. It can be changed, but it needs a lot of will, political, religious, and cultural will, which needs joint management. Joint management.
Strategy, joint commitment.
Yeah.
Madam Commissioner, we know that I've seen you take patriotism everywhere, patriotism training. Just want to understand, and my viewers would love to know, how do patriotism training and national values practically shape the mindset of today's child? And what measures have you put in place to impact them?
Okay. As from the beginning of our conversation, I told you one of our core values of patriotism is hard work. Discipline, hard work, sacrifice. We are teaching patriotism both to the youth, those in school and out of school, teaching them to be hardworking. We have ensured that even these .com schools where children were not doing any work, they don't even clean where they sleep, We have changed the mindset of such children. In their schools, we encourage that a child must clean their own dormitory, they must clean the bathroom, wash their own clothes. These things of saying, Metron, wash for me, no, we discourage them under patriotism because we want you to be hands-on. We thank the president for bringing the skilling centers. We even encourage parents that when your child is in vacation or you cannot afford further education, please take a child to these skilling centers, to the hubs, presidential skilling hubs, to acquire a skill, either tailoring, baking, catering, and they come up with that skill so that they don't live wasted. They are hardworking. To promote our hard work, the president has even given us another opportunity by creating PDM. This is money where we encourage every youth to go and come and do business that will give you a living, you will create wealth and also employment for other youth in society. So that is one of our key core values, hard work.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
There was, we have children who are more pragmatic, very aware of their rights, unlike you in your young days. I think the only rules you knew were your father's. You didn't have any other
rights?
thing called. Actually, there are even children's rights. They are classified different from even general human rights. So, in an era where children are more aware of their rights, how do we ensure they equally understand their responsibilities? Their responsibility to the family, to the community, and to the country. You can't have rights where responsibilities don't exist. Yeah.
Draw motion states that action and reaction are equal but opposite. So where there is a right, there is a responsibility.
Yeah.
How do we ensure the responsibilities are as well given to these young people? First of all, where do they learn their rights from?
Home.
From
Actually,
home.
schools.
Mm-hmm.
Their rights have been enshrined in our constitution. There is also the Children's Act.
So
And
what
it's
I'm
been
saying,
understood by NGOs are actually
the exact way they learn their rights is the exact way they should learn their responsibilities. In other words, there should be deliberate actions, because in the Children Act, they have responsibilities and they have rights. In the Constitution, there are rights and responsibilities. So it's incumbent upon us to use the same methods which relay the message of rights to also relay the message of responsibilities.
Sure.
The same way. So it should be
Thank you so
two-way
much.
traffic.
Madam Commissioner, you are aware that in Uganda we have something called Vision 2040-2050. So to achieve these ambitions, what specific behaviors and values must children adopt in order to become very responsible, productive citizens?
Very responsible, productive citizens. Hard work will not miss out. Because if you're hardworking, it means you're a responsible citizen and you'll become very productive. 2, also patience. Today, Uganda, 78% of the population is youth. We are impatient. We want quick money. We want quick wealth. We want, you don't know how many years it has taken a parent or how much hard work it has cost a parent to drive that Benz or to drive that Land Cruiser. But with the youth, I graduate today, I want to drive a V8, yet maybe by God's grace I can afford a bicycle. Lack of patience. If you can afford plan kuntu sawaka, those small vehicles, they call them plan kutuka, because you're not sure whether it will be crushed. Are they VTs or something like that? Those entamblers. There's entambler, at least entambler is a Harry Yakaundo, those ones are entamblers. But why would no plan kuntusa? Mission kutuka.
Simon Yasimi.
Simon Yasimi nakuwa plan kutuse waka. Vit so raum etc. I'm sorry, I'm not, but moto kwa plan kuntu sawaka, because you're not sure whether you'll be crushed by a trailer, you're not sure whether the tire will, you're not sure whether you'll reach. So if you can afford plan kuntu sawaka or kuntu sajendaga, why would you be impatient wanting to drive a V8 today? If I can afford this mpuliziganya, these button phones. Why would I want to have a phone, a modern phone of 17 million, iPhone 17, sijui what? Because we are living in, we want to show modernity, we are trying to compete with what we don't suit. I encourage both boys and girls to live in reality. That yes, I'm a fresh graduate, but actually, in fact, I thank His Excellence for thinking about us, the youth, really. You know, this graduates fund is going to do a lot of impact. It's only those ones who don't want to develop who will remain there, and we shall leave them there. But whoever wants to develop, with this free money that the president has introduced for us graduates who finished 2 years and more years back, we shall be in position to work hard, be responsible. However, when you get this money, be very responsible. I told you last time in one of our conversations that we took heifers to the east. When we were in a district called Chibuku, we gave the heifers today in the morning. In the afternoon, the youth were selling these heifers to marry a fourth wife. You find a young man there, youth. He has a torn trouser with about 10 windows on the trouser. He has something looking like a shrine called a house. I mean, living a miserable life, but he's marrying a fourth woman.
And the fourth woman is accepting.
And the fourth woman is accepting to go and be part of the misery. I mean, so I really find it challenging.
Government has created
but the government has given us safe environment for landing. I mean, PDM is there, youth fund is there, the graduates fund is there, even our cultural leaders. In fact, even Mama Fina this time, they've given them funds not to tell the client, Mzimu Jigambia, no, go and work hard. So we encourage every responsible citizen or any youth who shall become responsible. 1, be patient. 2, because things cannot be achieved in a minute. 2, be hardworking. 3, be disciplined. 4, learn to sacrifice. You shouldn't expect a payment for each and everything that you do. 5, how much value have you added to society before you demand society what it has given you? 6, the little or whatever is there, do we handle it with care? We shouldn't misuse the little resources that we are there. And 3, we should also find a way of fighting corruption. Joint effort to fight corruption. In Uganda, I realized one thing. For example, bribery. In Uganda, a policeman can stop you. Maybe he wants to tell you that your tire is spoiled. But because we Ugandans, the mindset is not clear. We are ideologically disoriented. Someone will just get a 5 and say, officer, officer, officer. Before even the officer tells you why he has stopped you. What? Kweyamba. Oitewo mangu.
Kanya.
Kukanya. Yet the officer wants to tell you that your tire has a problem. Therefore, I encourage every responsible citizen or any of us who shall become responsible, the both girls and boys, to really front being patient. Also, trust and fear God. Be disciplined, hard work, self-sacrifice, and to cooperate with the government in power and combat corruption to zero tolerance.
Thank you so much, Madam Commissioner. Thank you very much, Commissioner SEKU HELLEN and the Afande Owaruhanga, for sharing such profound insights on the values that must guide Uganda's boys and girls as they grow into leaders, innovators, and citizens of tomorrow. Your contribution tonight has reminded us that the nation building begins in our homes. It doesn't begin from anywhere but our homes, our communities, and most importantly, it does not have any tag. Anybody can put a brick on our nation through one great job, that is parenting. Parenting is the greatest honor any other citizen should have. So may we have a blessed journey back home, a blessed journey in nation building, a blessed journey in parenting. We thank you all for taking time to view us. We thank you so much for the contributions. We love your comments, and until next time, next Monday, from the entire crew, we thank you so much. Thank you, Madam Commissioner. Thank you, our dear viewers and guests.
Thank our viewers for always being there in time. Please keep up.
Umaze Simon,